Hi, in today's video, I am going to be showing you step by step how you can take your vibe coded project from the vibe coding tool and create a link which you can share with the world. And this process is called deployment. In today's video, I am going to be using the V0 vibe coding tool and then publishing the code on Vercel. We are going to also send our code to GitHub. If you don't yet have a GitHub account, make sure to watch my previous video which shows you step by step how to create a GitHub account from scratch. So if this is interesting for you, then I invite you to watch this video till the end. And make sure, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the videos that I create. Vercel is actually the company that created V0, the vibe coding tool. So by default, the projects which you create on V0 can be shipped to Vercel. But today we are going to do it differently. We are going to start our project from scratch. We'll do it together here. Then we are going to connect our V0 project first of all to GitHub, and then from GitHub we are going to now publish our application to Vercel. And from Vercel, each time you make changes and push their changes to GitHub, so pushing means you send the changes to GitHub, these changes are now going to automatically be implemented in the live version of your application. That means the code, the link which you send to your friends or family or to anyone in the world will automatically be updated with the changes which you made locally or on GitHub. This process is known as continuous integration and continuous deployment. So the changes you make are integrated and Vercel automatically deploys the changes and updates all the links. And this is a technical process known as CI/CD also in short. So let's see what we need. So requirements: in order to successfully follow me and implement the steps in this video, you're going to need first of all a GitHub account. And like I said, if you do not have a GitHub account, there's a link in the description which takes you to the other video where I explain in details what Git and GitHub are and how to install GitHub, create a GitHub account, and send code to your GitHub repository. The next thing you are going to need is a Vercel account. So we are going to do that also together. So you need no prior technical knowledge and no coding skills whatsoever. Now, this is the ultimate CI/CD flow I was talking about. The first thing we are going to do right now is we are going to create some code using a vibe coding tool. And my vibe coding tool for today's video is V0. This video is not sponsored by V0 whatsoever. I just love to use it to demonstrate the process of creating code and sending the code over to GitHub. So after we create our code with our vibe coding tool, which is V0, we are now going to ship the code or push the code to GitHub, to our GitHub account, thereby creating a repository. If you're ready, then let's do that. So today's project is just a test project and a prototype. We are going to see how to create a landing page for a hair braiding business specialized in Jamaican and African braids. That is a prompt I'm going to give to my vibe coding tool. And I'm going to also show you how you could improve upon your prompts because V0 gives you the option. And as you can see, I am not yet signed in to V0, so I don't yet have a V0 account. And let's see what happens when you try to start using V0 without having an account. So I'm going to write my initial idea, and then V0 is going to help me to improve upon my prompt. Great. So I'm done with my prompt, initial prompt. As you can see, it's just off the top of my head. And then I'm going to click on this icon, the prompt tools. And once you do that, you can see here, there is enhance prompt. So this is a very, very useful tool that you can use to enhance your initial prompt and see and let V0 help you improve upon the prompt. But if I click on that, I'm going to be asked, you see, to sign up for a V0, which is automatically synced to Vercel. So we can't use the V0 tool without having a Vercel account because they are like hooked up together. So what I'm going to do is we are now going to create a Vercel account in order to be able to use the V0 vibe coding tool. I am on the home page of Vercel, so Vercel's home page. You just need to go to Vercel, vercel.com, and you land on this site. That's the Vercel homepage. And from here, we are going to now sign up to create a Vercel account. You simply come up to the top right corner and click on the sign up button. And when I do that, you answer the questions that are given to you. So you choose the plan type, and I'm going to pick the first one. It's going to ask for my name, and my name is Aretas. And I continue, and it's going to ask, you could continue if you have a different email address, but since I have Google, I'm going to continue with Google. So continue with Google. So right now I actually have an account. As you can see, if I click on this avatar image here, that's my profile. My name is Aretas, and it's added a number, and that is my email address. Great. So I've clicked on dashboard, and I have no projects, and there are several ways you can bring in projects. So for today, we are going to create a project, first of all, on V0, and then, although the project will already exist on Vercel, I'm still going to send it to GitHub so that when you make changes, push these changes over to GitHub, and then GitHub sends them to Vercel automatically. That's the CI/CD workflow. So right now I am back on V0, and before I proceed, I would love to sign in since we already have a Vercel account. So I'm going to click on sign in, and it's automatically going to detect that I already have a Vercel account. So it's now linked to my Vercel account. I'm going to accept and continue, but make sure you read the terms and conditions before you accept. So our prompt is still there, and right now I'm going to use now the enhance prompt tool. When I click on enhance, V0 is going to help me to improve upon my prompt and make it better. So I'll click on enhance prompt, and then I wait. And V0 has actually created an improved, optimized version of my prompt. Let's see from the one sentence. This is amazing. This helps a lot. I don't need to waste a lot of time crafting the perfect first prompt because there is no perfect first prompt. So I'm going to copy this prompt and paste it for you in the description in case you need it later on. Amazing. Now I'm ready to build my landing page. Let's see what V0 will do for us. I'm going to pause the video and come back when it's done. Fantastic, awesome, vibe coded application. Let's see what it did. Wow, look at this. Celebrate your heritage with beautiful braids, along with images, and this is mind-blowing. Okay, great. So we have a landing page. Nice. Oh wow. And gallery. Yeah. Okay, the next step is going to be sending this code, which we now have on V0, into GitHub. So I'm going to now push the code to GitHub. I'm going to connect it to a GitHub account. In order to do that, I will hit on this button here. So if you go to your top right corner, you see the GitHub icon, and that's to connect to branch. So I'm going to click on it, and I need to sign in with GitHub in order to do that. So I'm going to sign in, and this is my GitHub account. So if you do not have a GitHub account, this is your opportunity to create one. And like I said, we could directly publish the website from V0, but this step helps us to save our code on GitHub in order to implement what is known as version control. All right. So if in future I wish to collaborate with a technical person, with a developer, a senior developer, then I will need to share my GitHub repository, or I invite the person to GitHub and we share the code. And if in future I wish to work using Cursor or Cloud Code or Windsurf or my favorite VS Code, then I will use GitHub to pull the code from GitHub and then to my local computer using a process known as cloning. So I'm going to clone the repository to my local computer. That's why we are doing this extra step of sending the code to GitHub. So I'm going to click on it. Then I use my biometrics. Yep. I sign in. In this phase is asking you to authorize Vercel to make changes. You just need to authorize Vercel, and Vercel will be connected to your GitHub account. So I'm going to authorize Vercel, and the organization is being created. So it's asking here if I only wish to have the one selected repository or all repositories. And I'm going to say all repositories, but you could choose only select repositories, and that way each time you wish to deploy a project, you need to select the precise repository. But I'll allow Vercel to give me access, or I'll give Vercel access, sorry, to all my repositories in this GitHub account. Sorry. Nice. So we are back on V0, and V0 is now asking us to name our repository. First of all, to select a scope, and then we give our repository a name. But above here is telling us we are creating a new private repository. And like I explained in the last video, a private repository is one where the code is not seen by the public. So if you come to my GitHub repository and to my GitHub account, and I have a private repository on it, you won't be able to see the code because it is private. Great. So this is private, and I select this. The Git scope is this. What I'll do is I'll now change the repository name Braids. So Braids project or Braids app. I'll just call it that way. Great. And then I click on create repository. V0 does that for us, and as you can see, it gives it the main branch. I also talked about main and master. So please, if you haven't yet watched that video, please go ahead and watch it. And I'm going to save the active branch. So that means each time I make changes, either here or on my integrated in my integrated development environment like VS Code or Windsurf or Cursor, then these changes are going to be tracked first of all. Then I can commit and push them to GitHub, and each time I push, if the project is deployed on Vercel, I will now be able to have the changes sent to the live link. So I'm going to set active branch. So main is my active branch, which means it is being tracked. Amazing. So that was the first step. So step 1 and step 2, we have created the code, we have sent it to GitHub. And if we go to our tracking plan, we see that we have now completed stage 2, and we need to proceed to stage 3, which involves deploying that project on Vercel. All right. So this is the next step I'm going to show you. So from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Vercel, and of course, since it was V0, the project is already here. It's already here. But it is not a production deployment. As you can see, there is no production deployment. But the reason why I'm showing you how to deploy from a GitHub repository on Vercel is because maybe you never used V0, maybe you used another coding tool, AI coding tool, or maybe you created a project from scratch on your local machine and pushed to GitHub, because it's possible. So if you had the code from somewhere else and you wish to deploy that repository here on Vercel, it's the same process. You create a Vercel account, and then when you come to your dashboard, this is what you're going to do. You connect, so you click on add new, this white button here, and then you choose a project. And because I had given GitHub access to my entire GitHub account and repositories, it's able to see all the repositories that I have in my GitHub account. So I have just 2 for now in this repository. So I'm going to choose the Braids app. That is the repository that was created 3 minutes ago, and I'm going to import that. And it is very easy to deploy on Vercel. So I'm going to import, and once I do the import, you realize that Vercel now gives a project name. It uses the repository as the project name, and it already knows that the project is built with Next.js. I highly recommend having production code or production projects built with Next.js. And the next thing you need to do is hit deploy. But if your project had, let's say, API keys and you had saved them in a .env file, so in the next video I'm going to be showing how to work with secrets with .env files in Next.js. So make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss the next video. We are going to talk about environment variables. This is where you place them. Let's say it's your Stripe key. Your Stripe key should be here. If it's your LLM API keys, it's all here. Everything, every secret that you have in your environment variable file is pasted here. And from here, Vercel will be able to connect it safely to the deployment version and in the deployment process. All right, enough talk. Let's hit deploy. So once you hit the deploy key, remember deployment means publishing your Vibe coded project. So we are now about to publish our Vibe coded project in order to show the world what we have done in less than 5 minutes with the V0 Vibe coding tool. Whoa! It's done! Congratulations! I just deployed a new project, and this is the new project. Oh my, I love this hero section. So I'll continue to the dashboard, and this is my project. So if you wish to share your project with the world, ladies and gentlemen, this is the link you use. I will add this link to the description of this video so that you can see it is live. It's up there, but let's test it. So I'm going to right click on it, or let me say I just click on it, and it's going to open our project on a new tab. So new web tab, and wow. Signature services, AI generated images. Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. So from here, you could now do a lot of things. Nice. So what we have done right now, we have actually published our Vibe coded application, and this was step 3. Sorry. Remember, we are here. We have done the deployment on Vercel. And of course, if you are just doing no code Vibe coding and you have no intention of working on the code locally on your computer or using an integrated development environment like VS Code or Cloud Code or Windsurf or Cursor, then you can end here. You share this project with the world, and each time you make changes and send to GitHub, they are going to be reflected. But if you wish to now have the code on your local computer in your machine, what you're going to do is now the next step, which is pulling the code from a GitHub account. So pulling in the code, cloning the repository, copying the code from your GitHub account to your local computer. So at this point, I'm going to demonstrate how continuous integration and continuous deployment works with GitHub and Vercel. I'm going to do a change, or we are going to do a change on this website on V0, and then we are going to push these changes over to GitHub, and GitHub is going to propagate the changes to Vercel. So Vercel is going to update the live link which we have. Remember, the live link is here. This is the live link. This is the project. So what I'm going to change is I'm going to do some changes here. So let's mark the point. That's the testimonial section, what our clients are saying or what our clients say. I'm going to change it, and then we push it over to GitHub, and after a few seconds Vercel is going to show the changes here. And this process, like I said, is called CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous deployment. Let's proceed. So head over to V0. We're working in chat mode, so I'm going to switch to design mode, and in design mode I can actually click, and when I click on a title like this one, I can now edit the content. So from our satisfied customers, that is better, right? Of course. So right now we have made changes to our project on V0. These are the changes. We changed the testimonial section to from our satisfied customers. And as I made that change, GitHub adopted the changes. So we made the change, we pushed the changes to GitHub, and then automatically Vercel took over the changes. Those are the changes that we made, and updated the live version which we shared with the world. So this is from our satisfied customers. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to drop them in the comment section below. I'll be very grateful if you could subscribe, like, and share this video to anyone you feel could also benefit from it, and make sure to hit the notification button, because I'll keep such basic step-by-step tutorials for vibe coding beginners coming. They'll keep coming and coming and coming. So be sure to be one of the first people to know about them, so that we get to vibe code fantastic, amazing apps together. So this is Aretas from the Vibe Devs community. Have a wonderful rest of the day, evening or morning, wherever and whatever time you are watching this video from.